Good morning. This is Lisa with Widow's Treasures. Though it's really in the afternoon. I've been gone all afternoon, most of the day with my youngest son, wife, and toddler, which was fun looking at homes as they're transitioning to that. And then, so I want to get this out, and I can see I do better in the morning because I'm just more scattered in the afternoon, so bear with me. But I do want to share a sweet thing with you. But first of all, let me show you a little bit. There's my swing, of course, and the bonfire is ready for October 1st. And to the left of the teepee in the spring is this gorgeous blossoms of this particular Asian tree, Asian cherry. Okay, yay, I remembered. And then right here we've got a Bradford pear, which has gorgeous blooms in the spring, even though lots of people either love them or hate them because they are invasive, but I love anything that blooms. And then over here, I cleaned this up, and I thought this was pretty clever. I used pine cones for my quote-unquote mulch, and then my oldest son gave me a Lowe's gift card, which to me is awesome, and I got these blocks or stones for the edging. So I just thought that was pretty fun. And then the gravel, of course, I already told you was here, but I'm really into it now because you don't have to, it helps with the weeding and all that, and no bushes to trim. Then lots of ivy around here, which is great. It's beautiful. English ivy is beautiful, but very invasive. So there you go. See, you gotta, like I'm going to get it off that tree because it's just too much for the tree. I've gotten it off a lot of trees. I'm going to get it off this tree, and then I've gotten it off the house because it gets into the siding of the house, which isn't good for the house, even though it's pretty. So there you go. And then comment below what these are. I cannot for the life of me remember what they are. They're desert plants. I cannot remember. That's what I'm saying. I'm just scattered in the afternoon. Hello. But anyway, they were here, and this is an interesting variation of what I'm used to, but that's fine. So there we go. And as you see, lots of pine cones, roots from the pear tree. Oh, and over here is in bloom in the spring. Let's see back there. Rose of Sharon. These little, like, overgrown shrubs. They're pretty. They're real pretty. Anyway, I love it. Okay, well, there you go. I'm just showing this little section here. My main thing was I was so pleased with my pine cone mulch because I have so many pines. There's so many cones. All right. Well, I wanted to share with you in Proverbs 68, 5 and 6. And I realize the version I like and read every day on my phone is actually NIV. So this is the ESV version. So I'm going to read it just because I have it right here, because I normally love and embrace the ESV version. But these two verses I actually like better in NIV. So the ESV says, "Father of the fatherless and protector of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God settles the solitary in a home." Okay, that's fine, but it's not doing anything for me. Over here it's so much better. NIV says, "A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows." Yeah. God sets the lonely in families. I think that is so well said. So what I love about this is, when we become fatherless, like when I became a widow, my kids were fatherless. And so I knew since then that God has been their father. And now that my father died not even 3 months ago, I'm fatherless. So he's my father now. And then, of course, he's a defender of widows, which somebody needs to be in our corner. So he's now our husband, our defender, our protector. Of course, up here it does say he is our protector of widows. That's good. That's very good. I like that. But the other verse 8, 6 says God sets the lonely in families. Like up here it says God settles the solitary in a home. Okay, doesn't do a whole lot to me. But down here it does. God sets the lonely in families. And I can see through the years, it's just the way it worked out, I've never been really totally alone since Don died. So I grew up in a family, went off to college, had a roommate, would be home on the summer breaks with my family, got married to my husband. So all these years I've really never been alone. And then when Don died, we still had our youngest son living with us. He was there for the next several years, partly because he was wanting to be with me so I wouldn't be alone. And then he got married, and then through life circumstances, my daughter ended up living with me because of changes in her life. And so I've been willing to be alone, but I've never been alone. Not for long periods of time, maybe for weeks, but never for months and years. So now my daughter is on the verge of potentially changing, leaving in a real positive, exciting way, which means I would be, for the first time in my life at 67, alone. And yet I'm at a point now, I'm not alone. God is with me, plus Esther's with me. I've got an incredible church family that has been and is, even though only 2 years have I been here, the most incredible support system. I've got widow friends there. I've got other single gals there. I've got couples there. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I've got a particular deacon assigned to me. My life group leaders are wonderful. I mean, it's real wonder. I'm real appreciative. Then, of course, I've made it a point to get to know my neighbors, and the ones across my street have been real caring and precious and considerate and kind, and I'm so grateful for that. So, again, I'm so appreciative that ultimately God Almighty is a father to the fatherless, a defender of widows. God sets the lonely in families. God sets the lonely in families. And then, if we're not... Okay, so this is my thought that just came to me. So many people I know, they don't see it as they don't see it as a punishment. They love having the freedom of being alone. And then I'm thinking of one dear friend. She's been single for many years, and she's got her companions, she's got her friends, she's got her church, but she does not at all mind living alone. She really enjoys that. So I just want to learn from them, those examples. This is not a punishment, and there's a great freedom in being single. And when you get through the horrible grief, there is then a wonderful, pleasurable, this can be a wonderful, pleasurable season. It really can. There's freedoms that you have that you don't have with being married, having kids, whatever. So, there's good and bad with everything. So, doesn't mean, the grass is never greener on the other side. And it's not an accident where you are. So, I then embrace where I am right now, and I just pray and hope that this verse, Proverbs, Psalm 68, 5 and 6, is a hope, a blessing, and a treasure to you. So again, blessings to you. Hang in there. The Lord is faithful.